As an artist, the three most commonly things I hear are, did you draw that? Can you draw me? Or, wow, I can't even draw a stick figure. However, a lot of people don't even realize that they can draw more than just a stick figure if they put enough hard work and dedication into their art. So today I'm inviting you to step out of your comfort zone and try something new, such as art. Now, I'm a digital artist. I've been doing it since I was 16, so that's about 2 years. When I first started out, I had a free program on my laptop, and that's how I had been drawing for almost a year and a half. As of recently, I did end up buying myself a little bit more expensive equipment, and my art program actually did cost a little bit of money, but today I'm going to be teaching you what to get into and what to look for when you're either getting a new art program or you are learning and getting into using a new art program. So I'm just gonna turn on my camera. So these are my drawings that I have been working on. Not these are just samples. I haven't gotten to that level of intricacy yet. But the very first thing you want to do when you get into a new art program is you want to get used to the interface. So get used to what it looks like, how to use it, the mechanics of everything. This one, you can turn around the canvas any which way. On my old program, you could not do that, which that was a good thing. I like this. This program also does have touch sensitivity, so a lot of people don't realize what that is, and it is something very helpful, and it makes drawings a lot easier and not better, but some people can do very good drawings without touch sensitivity, but for me it was something that I really wanted in an art program. Touch sensitivity is when you are drawing and you press harder, the line gets thicker, and when you press lighter, the line gets thinner. It is just as you would do if you say had a paintbrush or if you had a pencil, it would get darker. They do have those for like if you're drawing lighter or if you're drawing darker. So it makes it more realistic in my opinion, and it feels like more like you're drawing on a piece of paper. Now another thing about the mechanics of this is that you can just double tap and it'll undo, or you can tap with tap with 2 fingers, and then you can tap with 3 fingers and it will redo it for you. That is a very helpful thing when it comes to an art program. Another thing that you can do is you can have time lapse, which this is just me messing around with a bunch of different things. It is very helpful to get used to that. The second thing you should do is get used to all the brushes on your art program. Now, this art program has so many brushes. As you can see, these are all different sections and categories, and there's a whole bunch of different brushes in them. So what I did is I went through, just picked the color black, and I went through and I sectioned off different places, and this is the category name, and then these are all of the brushes that are in that category, and I named them all. So if I need to go back at some point and look for a specific brush, I can do that, and I can say, I want this specific look, I want a flare, I want a lens flare. We can go over to luminescence and look, I have a lens flare right there, and I can use that. Some of the other ones, some of them actually don't come out as fully being the color that you chose, which is kind of funky, but it is interesting. So such as this one right here, it comes out as like a blue, green, white, when the color chosen for it was black. So it's good to know, to get to know your brushes and get to know everything. The last thing that you should really get to know is your color wheel. Now, the color wheel you have a couple different choices down here. I usually use either classic, and you can just choose your colors through here, or you have the disc, and you can choose the colors by just there's two different ways to choose the color. So you choose the main color, and then you choose how dark or light you have it. There's also harmony. I don't really use this, so I'm not exactly sure how to show you how to use it, and as well as value. The value is a lot like Photoshop. You will find that if you use Photoshop, you will often know how or be able to get into using an art program quicker, because it is very similar, and actually my old program was even more similar to Photoshop. The layout looked a lot like it. But the harmony one, a lot of people who use Photoshop will be able to use that better. And I don't use Photoshop for a lot of things, so that's kind of difficult for me to understand. I use it maybe occasionally if it somehow helps me, but... And then there's palettes, which these are pretty nice. There's 3 of them here, and they're just automatic palettes. You can make your own palettes for, like, if you have a specific color set that you would like to make, they have them. And you can make your own. And you can use them from the camera, and also that, I didn't know that, because I never really use, the palettes. This one's very pretty, though, but it's always fun to explore. You want to make sure you explore as much as you can, and that's probably my last piece of advice, is just try, and just draw, and get to know your program as best you can, and that is probably the best thing to do when you're getting into an art program. Now, the last thing I'm just going to talk about real quick, this is the old program that I used. It was free. It's called Krita. I used it just on my laptop, so if you want to get into an art program, I suggest going with a free one, just to get used to the basics, see if it's something you actually want to do, and so you're not spending money on it. And then you have Procreate, which is the program that I'm on right now. It was $9.99, but it must be on a laptop, or not, sorry, laptop, an iPad, with an iOS of 13.2. But I really suggest that you go out and try this. I really encourage you to pursue art in your free time, because it's very rewarding, and it's actually very calming to do.